Tana French, congratulations.
Thank you very much. My God, I'm delighted.
Winner of the Ireland AM Crime Fiction Novel of the Year Award for Broken Harbour. How did it feel when your name was announced?
Absolutely over the moon and petrified that I wasn't going to be able to make it up there without saying anything stupid and get off. Because Owen Colfer had been accepting an award just before me, and he's so brilliant at making a speech, and I just thought, yeah, I'm going to shove my foot in my mouth.
Yes.
I hope I didn't.
But you didn't, no doubt. And you nearly didn't make it tonight.
No, nearly didn't make it tonight. There's been serious morning sickness going on here for the last couple of months. But so far, I haven't been sick on anybody all evening, so, you know, keeping my fingers crossed.
And how many weeks are you at this stage?
17.
With your second child?
Yeah, second.
And does that mean the routine changes, or do you just have to keep at it?
The routine actually goes up a notch, if anything, because the deadline doesn't move, except for something like this, which is another deadline that kind of takes precedence. So the book has to be done, has to be cooked before the baby is, basically. So.
And this book is set in a ghost estate north of Dublin, and it's not only a crime novel, but it has a lot of commentary on where we're at now. Winning an award like this, is this in some way a recognition of that, do you think?
It's an amazing feeling. I don't know if it's a recognition of that. I think it may be kind of more generally a recognition of the fact that crime fiction is starting to do more than just stick to the conventions, just stick to being crime fiction, killing somebody off, finding out who done it, everybody goes home. I think crime fiction is starting to push at those borderlines, Irish crime fiction, more and more, and see what else you can do with the conventions and say, well, actually, there's no reason we shouldn't touch on big themes. There's no reason we shouldn't get our teeth into things like the ghost estates and the lost generation who have been shoved out onto those ghost estates and are stuck there. There's no reason we shouldn't go for those things as much as the literary fiction writers and try to do them justice with as much depth and power. And I think that's one of the things that this award says, is that crime fiction is allowed to do that now.
Why do you think Irish writers have been so successful over the last few years when it comes to writing crime novels?
Well, I think for one thing, we love telling stories. We just love the storytelling. But I think also we're kind of starting with a very new genre, and that's always good. John Connolly is in many ways kind of the godfather of Irish crime. If you go back, I suppose you could say that, you know, Liam O'Flaherty has elements of the beginnings of Irish crime fiction, but it really took off with John Connolly, and that's quite recent. So we've got a lot of room to define this genre ourselves. You know, we're starting very much from scratch, and we can define it any way we want, and that's an exciting thing. There's a lot you can do if there's a lot of you coming up together and trying out very different things. I think that's why, yeah, Irish crime fiction's taking off.
And what's next?
Next book, book 5, is set in a girls' boarding school, where one of the girls has found on a notice board where they're allowed to stick up their secrets anonymously on postcards. She's found a card that has a photograph of a boy from the brothers' school who was killed, murdered the year before. And underneath it, the caption says, "I know who killed him." And she brings it in to a detective to find out what exactly is going on there.
And when will we be able to read it?
Well, again, I've got to finish it by April, one way or another.
So 2013 is going to be a busy year.
Yeah. So it should be out in 2014.
Okay, well, good luck with baby number 2.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the next book. And congratulations once more.
Thanks very much.
Well done, Tana.